Good evening, good morning, good night, you lovelies. It is the one, the only Cappy D Bar, and we are here to get to the Federation. All right. We are talking about February 16th Raw. Hope all of you are having a good one. However you were catching this, whenever you were catching this. Now, understandably, my last video was on the dub, so I didn't have any reason to actually comment on this, unless we were going to be touching home base beforehand. So, being that we are going to be discussing the Federation and all of their multiple missteps, we are going to be discussing one man formerly known as Big Daddy Cool, Big Diesel, one Kevin Nash. He made very wild comments about Javon Evans, essentially saying that he is quote unquote too smiley and he should have a lot more grit and a lot more edge. He said specifically, quote, bar for bar, he should be less Bojangles and more I can't even remember what the fuck he said. He said less Bojangles and more urban. Yeah, that's what he said. More urban. Now, right? I think you guys remember when I had that talk about the Grammys a while ago, and it's a perfect representation of this comment, because there's nothing that you would say is too smiley, right, about the performance of somebody like a Joe Hendry, right, from the performance like somebody like a Cody Rhodes. You wouldn't say that about a Joe Hendry, right? You wouldn't say that about a Cody Rhodes, right? You wouldn't bring up that argument talking about somebody like Sami Zayn. You wouldn't say they're not urban enough. But for some reason, Javon Evans, he needs to fit this criteria of urban. And really attempting, because it's a really hard attempt. But if you attempt to sidestep the racist bullshit, like the Bojangles, I don't even know who the fuck Mr. Bojangles was. Also, if that's a real person that was derived from minstrel shows, what the fuck is Bojangles the chicken shop still doing up? Excuse me? What are we doing around here? Are we Bojangles commercials? Bojangles chicken? Hello? Oh God. Oh man, history is one of those things, isn't it? But Kevin Nash made these comments and the IWC was disgusted, rightfully so. Again, if you attempt to sidestep what the fuck, the racist subtext of all that is, Javon Evans should be given a character, and it should be a good character, but I don't know where the urban came from. That was a lot. That was a lot. That was definitely, he could have just said he's bouncy. Would have circumvented all of this. Kevin Nash going, oh man, he's so bouncy. I love how bouncy he is, man. Bounce. And my thoughts on the statements, again, Javon Evans should be given a good character. It shouldn't be a stupid, and maybe it, okay. Because, and I don't want to play devil's advocate here, but I can imagine what Kevin Nash was trying to convey, and no disrespect to all for who I'm going to be referencing. No disrespect. He's a legend in this business. But if Kevin Nash would have worded it to the extent of off color and probably would have been digested the exact same way, because, it's an old white man saying it, it's going to be ignorant, right? So just put yourself in the headspace of an old white man for just 2 seconds. It's awful in here, I know, but just think about it for a minute, right? If he would have said, I want Javon to be more Swerve than he's being in R-Truth. Now, is that on its face very ignorant statement? Yes, but that's something that you can have an actual conversation about down the line. Because how many serious black superstars does the Fed have? Count them on your finger. How many serious, teeth-cutting superstars does the Fed have? Melo had to do 6'7" to get over. Trick William gets strutted out there in these big heels every night. Listen, I bet he's comfortable. I bet he's having a good time. But outside looking in, you're giving him rematches, right? You're putting him against people like Sami Zayn, where he's obviously projected to go over on the veteran. I mean, that's one of the most simple 101 put over jobs in the business, right? So you're giving him kind of a layup, so we're not seeing him actually reach his full potential. It's a great quote. A man without a rival is like a sword without its sharpener. It's like a sword without its stone, right? You need something to constantly sharpen this material. And if you keep giving Javon Evans just staleness, if you keep putting Oba in staleness, if you keep running around the idea of putting Hobbs on TV, because Powerhouse Hobbs should be on TV now, not next week, not next month, not after the Elimination Chamber, now. Oh man, oh man. How the great have fallen. Yeah, but that's kind of my small thoughts on just black talent in the Fed. Kevin Nash's comments were fucking stupid. And if you would have worded it better, we've all could have been having a little better. We could be having a more enlightened conversation. But unfortunately, we aren't. All right. We are talking about Raw. Are you ready for some more fucking garbage? Okay. Are you prepared to see the exact same segments play out over and over and over again? Huh? Are you excited? Because I'm not, chat. I'm not. All right. Let's get into it. Right. The Vision is in shambles. Okay, it's awful, bad, terrible, dog shit. I can't fathom how you can take so many missteps as one company. One company repeatedly takes so many fucking missteps. I don't even know how it's possible anymore. Austin Theory should be the face of this group. Logan Paul's clearly here just to get his reps in for the next WrestleMania or SummerSlam match. That's the most obvious fucking thing in the world. They probably sat him down and told him, my nigga, you're not just gonna keep being part-time, full-time with this company. You either do 6 weeks of Raw or you're out of here. So we're probably on our 7th, 8th week of Raw. He's probably just trying to get in some good favor back there. Eventually he's gonna try to work himself into an injury. I'm not even joking about that. We're going to see Logan Paul disappear, and then the Vision is probably gonna have to take some new form or something. Paul Heyman should do the intelligent thing as a veteran back there and implode this group. Tell the big wigs, hey, it's not working. This is not working. And maybe they can't say that because, again, Logan Paul needs his reps because Prime owns 0.2% of the Federation or TKO or whatever the fuck is going on with these fucking companies. I couldn't tell you. But all I do know is that Logan Paul is given a live mic almost every other Monday, and he has to stand across from people like a LA Knight. Yeah, like a CM Punk. He has to try to cut up the same kind of promos that Dom can cut up on a dime's notice. Who the fuck is Logan Paul? Like, what are we doing here? Oh man, then he has this match tonight. I don't even want to fucking talk about the match. He has this god-awful fucking match with Jey Uso. It is maybe one of the worst segments of graps I've ever seen in my fucking life. Jey Uso, Logan Paul graps. Niggas is paying 20K a ticket for that shit. Whew, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. All right, let's get directly into this Raw, okay? As I said, the Vision come out, they cut a promo that nobody fucking cares about. Nobody cares about. Now, did I say that if no one else in that group can cut a promo, that Logan should be cutting the promos? I did. That was before Braun Breaker got a hernia in his balls that costed him the entirety of this WrestleMania season. So now it's just 3 jobbers out there being fucking jabronis. I don't care about it. Let's keep pushing. The Usos come out looking like niggas. I'm gonna say it again. The Usos come out looking like niggas. This shit, after Kevin Nash's comments, after how we're treating Oba, after how we're treating Powerhouse Hobbs, not a fan of this shit. Hey, these motherfuckers ain't even acknowledge Black History Month. We gotta rely on the wrestlers to acknowledge Black History Month. This shit is sad. These niggas will rather retweet a Trump post about Mexicans being poisoned in the blood of the fucking country than black people. Black history. Yeah. Historically correct for the Fed. Historically accurate for the Fed. Wow, man, so insane. This promo goes nowhere. LA Knight comes out, and I guess it's some impromptu 6-man match, or maybe it's a brawl. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't care. This obviously sets up the main event. And I'm not gonna lie to any of you, man. Where this entire thing is going with the Visions and like where this thing is, and like a masked man. It's like, oh man, like I don't even have the energy to call them the no names anymore. Like honestly, you guys want to be the Vision? Fine. What can you see? What can y'all see? You know what I see? A bunch of fucking jobbers, all right, running around with Paul Heyman, one of the best orators of the modern era, doing nothing. Nothing at all. There is no edge. There is no character. There is no grit. Oh man, this shit sucks, bro. This shit absolutely fucking blows. All right, and then on the flip side of it, you know what we have to deal with? Guess what, folks? We have to deal with more triple threats. Yeah, we get a triple threat segment. Gunther, all right, bouncy Javon Evans, right, and dirty Dominic, all right. This triple threat could have just simply been a singles match, because guess what? Gunther gets taken out by Dragon Dragon Lee takes out Gunther. Dragon Lee. Do you remember your last Dragon Lee match that you watched, chat? Do you remember? I don't. Couldn't even say it off the top of my head. Dragon Lee, all fucking 5'9" of luchador spirit, took out the Ring General. What is this company? What? Because I'm telling you right now, if they are pushing towards Gunther and Ray retirement, I'm going to blow something the fuck up in Minecraft. Something is going to explode. Oh my god, and I can see it right now, right? Like Ray, you know, he has one more match with Dom because Dom's probably finally cleared now, right? And then he probably goes to CMML. Oh, well, imagine how fucking lucky we'd be. Probably goes to AAA for a while, and then he's gonna come back to the main roster, and Gunther's gonna be like, "Hey Ray, I beat up Dragon Lee and Ray Phoenix. Now I beat up you." And that's probably what we're gonna get for Gunther and Ray Mysterio. Probably, if not WrestleMania, maybe sometime after WrestleMania, maybe. Maybe like the exact maybe the pay-per-view right after WrestleMania, most likely. Oh, dude. Listen, Gunther has just been in this fucking just mid-card blender, and I don't know why. Why aren't we getting Gunther and Roman? Wouldn't that be a great match, guys? Wouldn't that just be a simple, hard-hitting match with Roman obviously being the fucking face? Wouldn't that be cool, seeing Gunther maybe go up against some more prominent talent, you know? Like maybe Gunther just wakes up one day and he decides he wants beef with Obafemi. Would that not be a fun match? No, let's get Obafemi and Kit Wilson. Let's get Obafemi and The Miz. Let's get Powerhouse Hobbs and Jabroni Jobber from the fucking bingo hole down the street. Oh, dude. All right, let's power through. Let's find a way to power through this Raw. Yeah, I can't tell you what the fuck they're doing with these triple threats. I don't care. This masked men shit with the fucking no names, with the Vision, whatever the fuck they want to call themselves, being that Seth and Braun are outside of WrestleMania season. I don't know if Seth's coming back for WrestleMania season. Probably isn't. Hey, between me and you, probably isn't. They're probably gonna wheel him out there in a fucking wheelchair like they did for WrestleMania 41. You guys remember WrestleMania 41, or was it 42? I think it was 41, where they literally dragged Seth's corpse out there to get fucking Superman punched and jumped by the Bloodline. Y'all remember that? That's what's gonna happen this WrestleMania season, with no build, no story, no championships. Let's keep fucking going, okay? I couldn't sit here and tell you how little I cared about that Becky and AJ promo. Didn't care about it. I didn't even take notes on it. Listen, AJ Lee, all respect to her. Becky hit the nail right on the head. She hasn't been here for the past 4 months. There are a lot of women in that locker room who should be where AJ is right now, simply off of merit and hard work. That's all I gotta say about that. Becky versus Kyrie. Kyrie versus Natty. Becky versus Natty. We can keep going. Lash versus Becky. Like, what are we doing here? You know, it's, oh man. And all respect to AJ Lee, but they're giving her dog shit. I think they've seen how naturally over she was and how she maybe veered a little bit too off script and kind of cut into everyone else's creative. So they're kind of being like, hey, AJ, we love your work, but you gotta stick to the script. Because I guarantee you maybe some of that other stuff in her first promo that really took over the entire night. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Becky tried to cut her promo and the lingering effects of AJ's promo was still there. I can imagine creative didn't want shit like that to happen again. So AJ just cut like a very cookie cutter promo. Becky goes out there. She tries to do the whole Trump gimmick. Oh man. The crowd is visibly uninterested, which is always not great. This was tough. And it's not even like this is like a god awful episode, because you have Javon Evan grabs, right? Like the CM Punk and Finn Balor segment that we will be getting to shortly wasn't terrible, right? Like you have Americano Grande, right? The good Americano Grande, not the Chad Gable version. Like, there are simple aspects of this show that aren't terrible, right? But it's like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, let's touch on that for a moment, right? Penta is now in kayfabe buddy with Chad Gable's Americano, even though Chad Gable's Americano was just a Trump dog whistle and clearly had very racially insensitive undertones, opposed to Ludwig, who has fully ingratiated himself in the luchador, honestly, I'll say like Latino lifestyle. Like, and it's gonna sound a little ignorant, like, but like the the Hispanic heritage that goes into luchador wrestling, whether that be, the rhythm that we've seen him display, just singing, dancing the songs of the Latino people, right? Like, whether that be, speaking the Hispanic language, like whether that be speaking the language, he's wrestling like a luchador. There's a lot of things that Ludwig brought to this character that I promise you niggas, these MAGA 2028 creators were not planning on. So now we get segments where Chad Gable is fist bumping the faces, and is Chad Gable a good guy? And he got his identity. So like they're literally trying to sink a creative ship to teach Ludwig a lesson. Weird ass AI video they put out. He tries to speak the language, and now he's even dating a Latino woman. How could he try to be such a faker? And it's like, bro, I don't know if they know what they're doing here. I'm so like befuddled. Like, he speaks Spanish. Yeah, because Germans have better education than Americans, so he could probably speak 2 other languages on top of German and Spanish. He's taking pictures with the crowd. He's so over with AAA. They're actively trying to bury Ludwig's momentum, and it's evident. It's fucking evident as hell through Chad Gable, who's an obvious heel in the storyline with Ludwig, right? Fist bumping Penta. What? I don't know. Maybe there's gonna be like some secret reverse, like Uno trap card or something, but I don't know what's going on, and I'm not going for it. Not going for it at all. Let's get towards Finn Balor and CM Pompadour. All right. Truth be told, all right, this was a very good segment. This is a very good segment. Now, first thing I will be talking about, Dominic Mysterio being out here. Not a fan of it. He was also with Liv Morgan for some reason during her interview. Now, a lot of the IWC will try to argue tooth and nail that, there's no such thing as a male-centered woman, bro. They're dating. Why can't he be there to support his girl, bro? Well, the argument with that is that this is a world championship match, and the simple image of you being there, it makes Liv look weak. And God bless this woman. Stephanie Vakir made that very poignant. I know we said we were talking about Finn Balor and CM Punk. This is a very quick diatribe that involves Dominic, that for some reason after that Liv segment, they still had out here. Like Stephanie quite literally in kayfabe buried the idea of someone standing next to Dominic or this faction for protection, and they still do it, which is questionable, which is very questionable. But essentially what Stephanie Vakir says is that a lot of people in a flurry, right, just simply for being correct, all right, because if we're gonna be honest, she is correct. Okay, let's listen to everything that she said. You said 10 years of hard work. You talking about hard work. What the fuck are you talking about, Liv? You haven't sacrificed anything. WWE has only handed you everything. And if we look at this is now Liv's second world title match. We're in the exact same place that we're in with Liv, that we're in with Tiffy. They just keep getting main title opportunities unbeknownst to everyone else in that goddamn locker room. Because where's Bayley's title opportunity? Well, hey, women back there like Ivy Nia, like Zoe Starks, what do they get? but Tiffany Stratton and Liv Morgan just gets to take a free ride up to the front of the bus every fucking time, right? Let's keep reading. From the moment you started here, you have had better medics, better trainers, and you were handed everything. You want to talk to me about sacrifice? I was born in Chile, where professional wrestling doesn't exist. She later revised that statement. Again, it wasn't as popular and as mainstream as it was in the Americas, so on and so forth. Let's continue. I competed in Japan, Latin America, in Europe. I conquered everything. I conquered everything. It should embarrass you hiding behind the Judgment Day, for hiding behind a man. You have to hide behind a man. I will tell you something. I went through hell, and I made it mine. Now, we're going to stop there. The optics of Liv Morgan standing next to Dominic Mysterio, it simply makes her an easy target. Because yes, Liv, when you have somebody who is constantly in your corner, who is picking and snooting at the women's title division, like Dominic Mysterio is, you look weak. Like now, if there's somebody like a Jane Doe who comes off the streets and she's the biggest thing since sliced bread, who's Liv Morgan? Jane Doe doesn't need to stand next to a man to get pops, but Liv does. I mean, Jane Doe doesn't have to stand next to a man to, you know, get recognition from the crowd. But Zelina does? Like, do you guys not see the game plans here when they sit here and they make women not their own individual? Liv Morgan, you know, she ran off, she cried after that, you know, very cutthroat promo from Stephanie. All kudos to her. It was fluent in Spanish. Dominic was there as a kind of translator. But let's keep it a stack, right? There can just be a translator there. There could just be a bi-partial translator. Maybe they're just off the ground. Hey, you know, it'd be better if Michael Cole said, I have a translator in my ear who is going to repeat back everything that Stephanie says. Now Michael Cole is actively involved in the storyline. He's actively involved in the interview. Our interviewers actively being a part of shit. How creatively fucking, how creatively fucking rambunctious is that, right? Lazy goddamn company. Liv Morgan, she runs off crying from this, again, amazing promo from Stephanie. I don't know if this was a work cry. I pray that this cry was a work, and it probably is. But dude, if for whatever reason, if whatever Liv said like really cut that deep, and Liv is like, fuck, like I've been hiding behind this nigga literally since like 2023. Listen, like we're gonna start having some real convos about creative if she like genuinely feels like that. Doubt she does, but you know, we're here to speculate. We're here to you know, play devil's advocate. Saying all that to say, Dominic Mysterio being out here for this Finn Balor segment, dumb. It's dumb. It's stupid. He literally gets picked on for never defending his AAA title, something that should have happened with Ludwig a long time ago. Because Ludwig, as they mentioned in that AI slot promo, and as they're trying to bury with his Chad Gable penta fist bump, Ludwig is hilariously over. He's literally just as over as Max Caster wasn't supposed to be. Literally, they are the exact same level of fuck, this guy is hilariously over, what do we do about it? That's what they're dealing with Ludwig, right? So yeah, there is no title defenses for Dom in AAA or against any other luchador, right? Because Ludwig is a fucking German. Why can't we get somebody of Mexican descent on a AAA card defending the title? Right? That's what I'd like to see, but we're probably not going to get that. Probably just going to get fucking Mr. Iguana or something. JD Madonnig's out there after like 8 weeks of being on the shelf. I'll tell you right now, my nigga, not intimidating. Not the most intimidating tool in the shed. But no, Finn goes out there. He cuts a pretty, a fairly decent promo. He says, hey, to be the best, you have to train with some of the best luchadors. You have to wrestle in some of the best dojos in Tokyo. You have to beat Roman Reigns on your first night of Raw, and I've done all of those things. But unfortunately, Finn Balor has been being booked like a jobber for 7 going years now, never having the world title again after that really unfortunate shoulder injury. So now we have to start asking ourselves the real questions. Who is Finn Balor, and what is he actually capable of? Is he capable of pulling out the demon? Is he capable of pulling the crowd in? Is he capable of being to his highest heights like he was many moons ago? It almost feels like a decade that we held the world in our hands with Finn Balor right beside us. Where is Finn now? And these are the kind of work and these are the kind of promos you give him. He can't match up to the stature of a Cody. He can't match up to the stature of a CM Punk because that isn't the creative you have given this godly wrestler. And I guarantee you half of this was just him going off of his own cuff because he is everything he says he is in that promo. He was some of the best wrestlers. Like, he was one of the best wrestlers when he stepped in luchador wrestling. He was one of the best wrestlers when he went to New Japan. He was one of the most prominent members of the Bullet Club, one of the most famous wrestling factions of all time. These are facts. What has he been given? And we simply have to acknowledge reality, right? CM Punk, he says that Finn Balor's been hiding behind the Judgment Day, such as Stephanie says that Liv has been hiding behind the Judgment Day. Now, I don't know if these are stories. I don't know if we're actually telling genuine stories here, but what I will say, there's a lot of truth to that. And if we're getting a point where creative is starting to kind of cannibalize itself to tell decent stories, fuck it. So be it, so be it. Creative is writing off on the, hey, you're hiding behind the Judgment Day, you look like a fucking mark. If they're writing off on that shit going on live television, that means that they're aware that their booking is doo-doo and it needs revision. So who knows? Maybe we're gonna get some good shit after maybe we're gonna get some good shit out of this. Finn still has his old theme and the crowd did pop for it. They did react to it. Like, we're on a good track, but knowing this company, I don't know, man. I don't know. Finn doesn't look like a jabroni, by the way. He looks like somebody who needs to make a choice. CM Punk, he kind of goes out a little heelish, But I'm not gonna lie, we've been waiting for heel Punk for a while. It's the same thing we get with Cody though, right? These guys are such large revenue generators that they can't do the creative to make them heels. And even if they did, they probably still go like, CM Punk, CM, and then probably, shut up, you fucking troglodytes, I hate you, CM Punk, CM. That's probably what would happen if they try to make Punk a heel, honestly. Yeah, but that was everything I felt about this segment. We are going to be moving very quickly, all right, into the main event, all right? Bouncy Man goes to the Elimination Chamber over Dominic Mysterio and Gunther. Now, again, like Dragon's Lee, Crystal Dragon Lee, Blue Eyes White Dragon Lee, I don't really have a massive problem with his involvement in this match. My only thing is I know he's losing to Gunther. That's my only thing. Like, we're not going to get a best of 5 from these guys, which would be very cool, be very fun, be very entertaining. No, it's just going to be a dragon fucking squash match. He's probably going to get his mask ripped off, and I don't know. I mean, for the sake of like luchador wrestling, I think Dragon Lee being in like that kind of like conflict, I mean, it might be interesting. You might get a good blade, might get a good mask tear for the drama of it. I mean, I could see it working, in a kind of long-term favor for the legacy of Dragon Lee. But when we're talking about the legacy of Gunther, like there are niggas like Drew McIntyre outside, there are niggas like Cody Rhodes outside, and you ain't even really boxing nobody for real. You going after Uncle nephew. Like, we got real hitters in the field right now. Roman is walking around backstage looking for the smoke. Where you at, Gunther? Where you at? You know what I mean? It's shit like that. Like, Finn Balor's looking for a nigga to kick his. Like, Finn Balor is looking for an opportunity to prove it to CM Punk that he's that nigga. Where Gunther at? Where he at? Hey, that's all I'm gonna say, man. I also am not a fan of the idea of Penta getting another title chance at Dom. It should be Javon. It's to be Javon. And we all know that Penta probably won't beat Dom. But hypothetically, if Penta beats Dom, and now we get a triple threat with Penta, Dom, and Javon, hey, I can deal with that. I can capitulate to that. That was everything I had to speak on for, all right, February 16th, 2026 Raw. Not that entertaining, a lot of confusing shit. I don't know if there's stories going on here or if they're just people like high out of their minds on fucking coke, but it's something going on back there. And I'm not gonna lie, I can't look away from the train wreck, y'all. I can't do it. All right, this has been your boy Cappy. All right, I do have a lot of other things going up for the week. So as I always say, all right, you all stay tuned. You stay safe, you stay beautiful, all right? Peace.